Have you ever sat in a coffee shop surrounded by the buzz of conversation, laughter, and life, yet felt completely invisible? Like you're watching the world on a screen and you're the only one without a script. That feeling, that deep, aching loneliness, even when you're not physically alone, is something millions of women are feeling right now. We're more connected than ever before, with hundreds of friends online, but why do so many of us feel so profoundly isolated? We're gonna get into why this is happening, and I promise you, by the end of this, you'll understand that feeling in a way you never have before. The myth of the social butterfly. Let's paint a picture. Maybe it's you. Her name is Sarah. On paper, Sarah's life is great. She has a decent job, a nice apartment, and 852 followers on Instagram. Her feed is a curated gallery of brunches with friends, smiling selfies on hikes, and pictures of her cute chat. To anyone scrolling by, she's got it all figured out. She's social, she's happy, she's connected. But if you could see behind the screen, you'd see Sarah sitting on her couch on a Friday night, scrolling endlessly through other people's highlight reels. The brunch photo from last week, it was with a group of work acquaintances, and the conversation never went deeper than complaining about their boss. The hike, she went alone and spent most of the time trying to get the perfect shot to prove she was having a good time. The texts on her phone are mostly logistical. Running 5 minutes late. Did you get my email? Haha. The last time she had a real heart-to-heart conversation that left her feeling seen and understood was, she can't even remember when. She is drowning in a sea of people, but dying of thirst for genuine connection. This isn't just Sarah's story. A 2021 study by the Survey Center on American Life found that women today report having fewer close friendships than they used to. The number of women who say they have fewer than 3 close friends has jumped significantly. We are in the middle of a silent epidemic, and it's hitting women particularly hard. The pressure to be a human Pinterest board. So what's going on here? Why is this feeling so common? Part of the answer lies in the immense pressure society puts on women. From a young age, girls are often taught to be the social glue. We're expected to be the nurturers, the planners, the ones who remember birthdays and ask, "How are you?" and actually wait for the answer. We're supposed to be effortlessly social, juggling friendships, family, and work with a graceful smile. This is something sociologists call emotional labor. It's the invisible work of managing feelings and relationships to keep everything running smoothly, and it is exhausting. We spend so much energy making sure everyone else feels comfortable and connected that we often neglect our own needs. We host the party, but we don't have fun at it. We listen to everyone's problems, but we feel like we can't share our own for fear of being a burden. Think about it. How many times have you said, "I'm fine," when you were anything but? We put on a mask of competence and happiness because we feel like that's what's expected of us. The world wants to see the smiling brunch photo, not the picture of you crying in your car after a hard day. This constant performance creates a huge gap between our public selves and our private selves. And it's in that gap that loneliness grows, like mold in the dark. Our brains on friendship. There's also a biological piece to this puzzle. It's not just in our heads, it's in our wiring. When faced with stress, the classic response we all learn about is fight or flight. But scientists have identified another response, one that's much more common in females: tend and befriend. Under stress, the female brain releases a flood of oxytocin, sometimes called the cuddle hormone. This hormone doesn't just promote bonding with babies, it drives us to seek out and build social connections. We are biologically wired to reach out to our friends when things get tough. It's our primary coping mechanism. So what happens when that support system isn't there? What happens when you reach out and all you get back is an echo? The stress doesn't go away. In fact, it gets worse. The very mechanism designed to protect us ends up highlighting what we're missing. Every time we feel that pull to connect and can't, it's a fresh reminder of our isolation. It's a biological imperative that's going unmet, and that takes a serious toll on our mental and even physical health. Chronic loneliness has been linked to everything from depression and anxiety to a higher risk of heart disease. It's not just a bad feeling, it's a genuine health crisis. The friendship recession. This isn't happening in a vacuum. We're living through what many are calling a friendship recession. All over the developed world, people are reporting fewer close friends. But the reasons it hits women differently are crucial to understand. Historically, female friendships were forged in communities. Women gathered at the village well, they quilted together, they raised children together. Their lives were interwoven in a dense fabric of daily, face-to-face interaction. My grandmother used to talk about her coffee clutch, a group of neighborhood women who would meet every single morning, without fail, to just talk. It wasn't a scheduled event, it was just part of life. That was their built-in support system. Fast forward to today, we move away for college, for jobs, for partners. Our communities are no longer geographical, they're digital. That neighborhood support system has been replaced by a scattered network of friends we have to schedule a Zoom call with 3 weeks in advance. And let's be honest about modern friendships. They are fragile. We live in an age of fleekiness. How many times have you made plans only to have them canceled at the last minute with a "so sorry, something came up" text? Life is more demanding, people are more tired, and it's become socially acceptable to treat tentative plans as disposable. This makes it incredibly difficult to build and maintain the consistent, reliable contact that real friendship needs to survive. Each canceled plan, each unanswered text, can feel like a small rejection, slowly chipping away at our sense of connection. It's a biological imperative that's going unmet, and that takes a serious toll on our mental and even physical health. Chronic loneliness has been linked to everything from depression and anxiety to a higher risk of heart disease. It's not just a bad feeling, it's a genuine health crisis. The great pretender, social media. And then there's the giant elephant in the room, social media. It promised to connect us all, to bridge distances and forge new bonds. And in some ways, it has. But it has also become one of the most powerful engines of loneliness we've ever invented. The problem is that social media gives us the illusion of connection without the substance. We see our friends' lives, but we're not in them. We're spectators. We scroll through hundreds of updates, a constant stream of engagements, baby announcements, promotions, and perfect-looking vacations. A 2017 study published in the American Journal of Preventive Medicine found a direct link between time spent on social media and perceived social isolation. The more time young adults spent on platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat, the lonelier they felt. It's a paradox. The more connected we are online, the more disconnected we feel in reality. Why? Because it triggers our natural instinct to compare. We see our friend's curated highlight reel of someone else's life and compare it to the messy, behind-the-scenes reality of our own. Sarah sees her friend's engagement post, and she feels a pang of loneliness. Not because she isn't happy for her friend, but because it highlights what she feels is missing in her own life. She sees a group photo from a party she wasn't invited to, and the feeling of being left out is immediate and sharp. Social media turns friendships into a performance. We're all trying to craft a narrative of happy, successful, and deeply connected life. But it's often just that, a narrative. It's a story we tell the world, and sometimes a story we tell ourselves. But deep down, we know the truth. We know the difference between a like and a hug. We know the difference between a comment and a real conversation. The 3 flavors of loneliness. Here is the thing that we often misunderstand. Loneliness isn't just one feeling. It's not a simple lack of people. To really get to the heart of this, we have to understand that there are different kinds of loneliness. Think of it like being hungry. You can be hungry for a snack, or you can be starving for a real meal. First, there's social loneliness. This is the feeling of not having a wider social network or a sense of community. This is the loneliness you feel when you move to a new city and don't know anyone. It's the feeling of wanting to be part of a group, a team, a squad. You miss the easy camaraderie, the inside jokes, the feeling of belonging somewhere. This is the Sarah who wishes she had a regular brunch group that felt real. Second, there's emotional loneliness. This is far more personal and painful. It's the craving for a deep, intimate connection with one or a few other individuals. It's the absence of a best friend, a partner, or a close confidant, someone you can be completely yourself with. You can be surrounded by a huge, friendly social circle and still feel intensely emotionally lonely because you don't have that one person you can call at 2 a.m. when your world is falling apart. This is the loneliness of having no one to share your biggest fears and wildest dreams with. And finally, there's a third, deeper kind, existential loneliness. This is the most profound kind. It's the feeling of being fundamentally separate from everyone else. It's the realization that no one can ever fully understand your unique experience of the world. This feeling can pop up during major life transitions, after a breakup, a death in the family, or even during a big personal change. It's a feeling of being untethered from the world. The real solution is not more friends. This is the key moment, the part where it all clicks. The typical advice for loneliness is terrible. Just put yourself out there, join a club, go to a meetup. And while there's nothing wrong with that advice on the surface, it completely misses the point. It's like telling someone who is starving for a nutritious meal to just eat a bag of chips. It might fill the empty space for a minute, but it doesn't provide any real nourishment. The solution to female loneliness isn't just about accumulating more friends. It's not a numbers game. You could join 10 clubs and still feel just as lonely if the connections you make are all superficial. The real antidote to loneliness is vulnerability. It's the courage to take off the mask. It's the bravery to be the first one to say, actually, I'm not doing so great today. It's about moving beyond the small talk and into the real talk. It's about sharing the messy, imperfect, un-Instagrammable parts of your life and finding someone who doesn't run away. They lean in closer. That kind of connection is terrifying because it requires a leap of faith. It requires you to risk rejection. But it is the only thing that can truly cure the ache of emotional loneliness. One single friendship where you can be your whole, authentic self is more powerful than 100 acquaintances where you have to perform. It's about finding the people you don't have to pretend for, the friend who you can sit in comfortable silence with, the person who sees you cry and just passes you a tissue without judgment. This is the connection our brains are wired to tend and befriend. This is the real meal our souls are starving for. It's not about being more popular, it's about being more seen. Finding your way back. So what do we do? Knowing all this, where do we even begin? The first step is the one you've just taken, understanding the problem. Recognizing that this feeling isn't a personal failure. It's not because you're weird or unlovable. It's a complex issue woven from threads of biology, history, and the strange realities of our modern world. Be gentle with yourself. The next step is to shift your goal. Stop trying to collect friends like Pokemon cards. Instead, focus on cultivating depth. Look at the connections you already have. Is there a coworker you have a good vibe with? Ask them to get a real coffee, not just a 5-minute chat in the break room. Is there an old friend you've only been keeping up with through social media likes? Send them a message that says more than happy birthday. Say, I miss our talks. Are you free to catch up for real sometime? It's about making a conscious effort to move conversations from the surface level to a slightly deeper one. It's about being a little more vulnerable yourself, to give others permission to be vulnerable too. Ask better questions. Instead of, how was your weekend? Try, what was the best part of your weekend? It's a small change, but it opens the door for a real answer. And maybe most importantly, learn to be a good friend to yourself. Learn to enjoy your own company. Take yourself out on a date. Turn off your phone and just be present with your own thoughts and feelings. When you're not desperately looking for someone else to fill your own void, you become a more magnetic and whole person. Connection often finds us when we stop chasing it so desperately. The path out of loneliness isn't a quick fix. It's a slow, quiet, and sometimes scary journey. It's a process of rebuilding, one authentic conversation at a time. But it's a journey worth taking, because on the other side of that lonely ache is the most beautiful and fundamentally human experience there is. The feeling of being truly, deeply, and unconditionally connected. If this resonated with you, subscribe to RainWish and give this video a like. Goodbye.